Hey there, Jason Schneider here, and today I wanted to give you a brief overview of my PICLR, P-I-C-L-R method for identifying and transforming your limiting beliefs. To have some sort of a model to identify and transform your limiting beliefs is really important because beliefs govern everything we feel and everything we do in the world. And so if you're having issues in your relationship, you got to check in with your beliefs. What do you believe about dating? What do you believe about getting married? What do you believe about your partner? What do you believe about yourself as someone in a relationship? If you're having issues with business, what do you believe about marketing? What do you believe about sales? What do you believe about money? What do you believe about yourself as an entrepreneur? If you're having issues with your finances, with really anything, your beliefs are governing and driving all of your emotions and all of your responses. And so having some sort of a method to identify and actually pull those weeds out yourself is something that's really important and crucial to have in every aspect of your life. So this PICLR model, it stands for, first of all, prepare. You want to prepare yourself. Then you want to identify your limiting beliefs. You want to choose a replacement. You want to loosen that limiting belief so that you can then replace it. And a big myth here is that changing beliefs takes a long time or is really hard. It's actually not that hard and actually happens really, really quickly when you do those first steps and preparation. Then that last part of replacing the belief is actually really easy, and it'll make it a lot more likely that it will take root inside of your mind-body system so that it's not a battle of the wills, but actually it's a better alternative that's a real simple solution, a real simple decision, and it roots itself in your mind and in your subconscious a lot more easily when you do those pre-steps better. So I want to go quickly through PICLR step by step so you can get an idea about how it works, and maybe you'll be able to apply some of these principles, if not all of them, right away in your life. So P is that preparation, it's that pre-work. I like to think of our inner world as if it was a garden. And so if your inner world of beliefs and thoughts and ideas was a garden, what would that garden look like? So you can take a moment to imagine if your inner world was a garden, would it be thriving? Would it be healthy? Would it have a variety? How would your inner garden look? Because this pre-work is about preparing yourself as the gardener to go in there and to be able to identify and pull out those limiting beliefs and put in some more resourceful ones. One of the resourceful beliefs as a preparation step in that PICLR model here is to take ownership over your belief systems. If you don't do that preparation work, you don't take ownership over the garden of your mind, then it can do whatever it wants. You're not really going to have much of a say in the matter because, well, it's not mine. It is what it is. It's not mine. I can't do anything about it. So part of the preparation that's really important is for you to take ownership over it. I've got another video on that on my YouTube channel. So if you are a subscriber on my YouTube channel or you want to go over there and subscribe, I'll put a link to that video underneath this video so that you can go there and learn more about taking ownership over your belief systems. So that's one of the steps of this preparation, this pre-work. Now we get to the second step, which is identifying your limiting beliefs. Now, some people are really good at this. Some people can use some refinement in how to identify which beliefs are limiting me, which beliefs are not. One of the tips that I can give you in identifying your limiting beliefs is that, well, you check in, like I did in the beginning of this video, check in with the current state of affairs in your life. So it could be relationships, about money, about business, about fun and recreation. It could be just beliefs about yourself. And so kind of look around the present state of your life, the emotions that you're feeling that you don't like, the behaviors that you're doing that you want to stop, or the behaviors that you're not doing that you want to add into your life to help you to move towards the things that you want. And check in there and just ask, what do I believe about these different facets of my life? That will help you to cue in on some limiting beliefs that might be holding you back. So PI, you want to prepare yourself, you want to identify them. Now C, you want to choose a replacement. One of the biggest issues I see around this area with people in choosing replacement beliefs is they just want to use the power of positive thinking. So they want to choose a replacement that just feels great and it's resourceful, like I am fully abundant and I have as much money as I could possibly imagine in the world. Well, that's not a resourceful belief. It's not true. if it's not true for you. And so we really want to find a belief when we're replacing it that's not just resourceful, but it's also accurate to you. And finding something in that middle, which is the sweet spot, is really going to be that sweet spot where you'll be able to have a good replacement. If you believe that I am a billionaire and I am rich and I am wealthy and I am abundant when you're not, and you hypnotize yourself into believing that, then you might go and do some stupid things like, I don't know, spend 5 digits, $10,000 on some sort of a training program that you probably can't afford, or go out and buy that car that's out of your budget. So we want to find that sweet spot when we're choosing a replacement that really falls in that overlap of something that's resourceful for us, yes, but it also has to be pretty accurate. Otherwise, we can get ourselves into some trouble. So that's a quick overview of the choosing the replacement. Now it's time to loosen our beliefs up, loosen and pull out those weeds. So if we're tending to the garden, now we've identified some weeds in the garden. Well, we've prepared ourselves as the gardener. We've identified some weeds in the garden. We've chosen some crops that we would like to replace those weeds with. Now it's time to loosen up those weeds. And one of the biggest problems that I see when people are trying to loosen up their negative beliefs is they go right to throw poison on it. So I'm so stupid for having those beliefs. I should know better, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you go and throw poison on those weeds, actually what that does is it creates more weeds at a higher level. Actually, it makes the environment kind of toxic. To loosen the beliefs that don't serve you. One of the best questions you can learn to ask yourself, I have another video on this, I'll try to link to it below. It's called a quality control question in the field of neurosemantics. And it's just to ask yourself about any belief. The question is, does this belief serve me? Does this belief serve me? And it's a magical question, these quality control questions, because if the answer is no, well, it starts to loosen it up. And if the answer is yes, it will solidify and strengthen it. And it's a magical question because if you ask it about something bad, it loosens it. If you ask it about something resourceful, it strengthens it. So if you really want to loosen those weeds up, the question is does this weed serve me right now? Does this plant right here, does this belief in my mind, does that serve me to get to where I want to go? It's probably served you in some way, shape, or form to get you where you are now, so don't throw poison on it. You can appreciate it for the purpose that it served. Until now, it's held a very nice place in your garden. Does this serve me? If the answer is no, that will help to loosen it up in the garden there. And the last part is to replace it. So actually this preparation, P, identifying the limiting ones, choosing the replacements, C, L is loosening it up. All of that was just preparation for this quick change now. And again, just to loosen it up, it's really just about pulling that weed, putting in the new one. If you've done a good job on those first steps, for example, preparing yourself, preparing your inner space for changing your own beliefs, if you've chosen a good replacement and you've identified a limiting belief and chosen a good replacement, then really this part of just quickly replacing it will make it a lot more likely that it will take roots in your mind. So it's not just about digging out a hole. That's another issue I see with people. They just want to pull out the limiting belief, but not replace it with something better. If you pull it out and you don't put whatever crop you want to put in its place, then it's very likely that weeds will tend to regrow in that place where it was built for those weeds. That's what was there. And so this replacement is actually really, really quick, and the replacement tends to root in your mind much more easily when you've done the pre-work properly and you've set yourself up for success. And then it doesn't take a lot of willpower. It really just is an alternative. You go, well, I could have a weed, or I can have this beautiful plant that I've chosen in my, very carefully in that choosing the replacement area. Well, of course, it's more likely that it's just going to take root and stay and fit for your inner world because you've chosen it for yourself based on your own inner environment. It's not like necessarily that someone gave it to you. But because you've taken ownership over your garden in the first step there, even if someone did give it to you, it's your garden. You get to choose if you want to plant it or not. So that's the general overview, PICLR, PICLR. You want to prepare yourself for the gardening. You want to identify your limiting beliefs. You want to choose a replacement. You want to loosen up that weed, that limiting belief. And then real quick, you just want to replace it with the new one. If you've done that work properly, this is really a useful model for you to identify and transform your limiting beliefs. I found it really useful for me. My name is Jason Schneider, if you don't know me. I love teaching different methods that we can use to coach ourselves and coach others to unleash our highest potential. I have a course coming up on this whole entire model here, a lot more in depth than I could do in this, I don't know how long it was, 10 or so minute video. That goes through each of these steps. It's a 3-hour program on identifying and transforming your limiting beliefs. If you want to check it out, perceptionacademy.com schedule. If you're watching this before the live event, go check it out over there. It has all the details. I'll put a link for that around here. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe. I put out lots of content like this on a weekly basis so that you can learn and grow how to coach yourself and coach others, again, to unleash your highest and best potential. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them anywhere around this video. I love to support you along your journey of self-actualization and of coaching mastery. So again, PICLR, prepare yourself for belief change, identify your limiting beliefs, choose a replacement belief, loosen up, and then lastly, quickly replace it out so you have a more resourceful belief that will root in. I hope that you take this to heart. I hope that you go out there and practice this. Again, if you're interested in learning more, we've got a 3-hour program. I'd love to have you there where we go a lot deeper into each of these steps and more. Yeah, so stay tuned for more information. I hope to see you at the course, and I hope you found this video valuable.